Okay, so the topic in this video is going to be how to trade for a living. I know a lot of you that follow me. This is your ultimate goal. This is the reason that you got into trading. You want the freedom that this can provide for you. So your dream, your goal, if that is to be able to trade for a living, meaning having this as your main source of income or your only source of income, then you found the right video, because in this for today, I'm going to give you some practical tips on how you can make that a reality. Okay. Now, also, once you get done watching this video, I'm going to leave a link to a blog post that I made not that long ago, like a week or so ago, over this exact same topic, how to trade for a living. So after you get done watching this, make sure you go check out the blog post that I wrote, and that will be in the video description. Okay, so let's get right into it. To step number one, I recommend you have a couple years worth of living expenses saved up before you quit your job. Okay, so we all got different living expenses. We all have different lifestyles. Figure out what you spend in a year. And I recommend a couple years worth of living expenses that you have saved up before you make that leap to pursue full-time trading. So why is this important? Well, one of the worst things that you can do for your trading is to trade from a place of neediness. I need to make money. Okay. I've said this so many times. Neediness repels money. Let me say that again. Neediness repels money. When you're needy, you take trades that you wouldn't otherwise take because rent's around the corner, right? So this is very, very, very important. I think I made a blog post actually already on this way back. So probably like a couple years ago or so, I think, because I've been trading for a living. This has been my main source of income for a while now. And I think in the first blog post I put out like a year. I think the first one I did, I said you need about a year's worth of living expenses, but I've upped it to 2 because I know a lot of you look to me for advice, and I want to make sure you're set. Okay. I just want to make sure that you're completely trading from a place free of worry. You can trade your setups, you can trade your strategy with a clear head, with no pressure whatsoever. That's where I want you to be. So just to be safe, I recommend at least a couple years worth of living expenses put away in savings, so you don't got to worry about, well, paying your bills like next month or your upcoming bills. Okay, so have a couple years worth of living expenses. That's number one. Have a couple years consistent profitability under your belt before you go full time. This is very important as well. I don't want you to just quit your job, go full-time trading just because you have one little winning streak, just because you have one little hot streak. I want you to prove that you can do this for at least a couple years, consistently profitable. Now, when I say consistently profitable, I don't mean that you're slamming it out of the park every month, green every single month. That's not realistic. I know all these gurus, all these little educators, that's the dream that they sell you on, that this is all linear progress. You will never have an L, you will never have a drawdown. And I'm here to tell you that that is a lie. You will have drawdowns. You will have losing streaks. That's part of trading. Professional traders have losing streaks, okay? It's part of it. The key difference between a professional and an amateur is the professional knows how to control that drawdown. He doesn't let it get out of control, okay? He keeps the losses small. He keeps executing his system. He keeps trading his strategy with a clear head. And you know what? The strategy or the market environment heats back up, that supports his setup, and he is able to run up his capital again because he survived that drawdown. He played good defense. That's the key. Okay, you're not going to avoid drawdowns and losing streaks. All strategies have it. All strategies, you will have losing streaks. Accept it. So have a couple years of consistent profitability, because this allows you to go through those periods where you will have those losing streaks, because it's important to know how you're going to handle it. You want to see how you're going to handle those losing streaks, those periods of drawdowns. Do you crumble under the pressure? You see your P&L, or you see your capital starting to dwindle in front of your eyes, and you crumble and you switch up everything. You switch up your strategy again, like so many beginners do. They take a few freaking L's and then they switch up everything that they're doing just because of that. Or do you lower your size? Do you manage risk, keep executing, and you survive that drawdown like a professional? So this is very important. Have a couple years consistent profitability, under your belt before you go full time. Again, you might have some red months in there, aka your drawdown months. But when I say consistent profitability, what I really mean is you hold your own. You're net profitable is what I mean by that. Okay. And obviously you're green more months than not. There's just those few little months in there where you could have drawdowns, and you got to factor that in. Okie dokie, let's go to the next one. Have the proper size account. So again, we all have different lifestyles. We all have different expenses. Some of you live in the US, some of you live in other countries in the world where cost of living is much lower. So this is definitely it's gonna vary. So just for example, let's do an example with this. Say you live in the USA in a normal, like just a normal regular city. I'm not talking about LA, not talking about Miami, all these really expensive cities. I'm talking about in most US cities. If you live a humble lifestyle, you're not driving around in Lambos, you're not trying to live in 20 mansions. You live a humble lifestyle and you just want to pay your bills with trading. You're content with that. What is my recommendation? What is a good size account for something like that? Living in the USA, I would say about 100K USD, 100,000 USD is a good recommendation. Okay. Now, again, other countries where cost of living is lower, you can get by much less. You just got to factor it in. So how do we factor this in though? Well, a really good return on your money each month. Once you got the skills, you have the proper skills, you know what you're doing, you're really comfortable with your strategy. An average of about 5 to 6% a month, I believe, is very realistic. That's what I do. And again, keep in mind, you're not going to hit 5 to 6% return on your money every single month. This is just like the average spread across. Okay. Some month you will kill it. Some month you might have like a 20% return. You might have a 10% return. 15% return. Other months you might have a drawdown. You might be red, or you might just make 2%. You might just barely break even. But on average, taking everything, putting it together, your average is like 5 to 6% a month. I think that is a good number to shoot for. So 5 to 6% on 100,000 USD is what? That's 5 to 6K. Okay, and then you got to factor in taxes. That is definitely doable in most places. Definitely doable. Really realistic. 5 to 6 grand a month. You can make it happen. So that is my recommendation. Find out your living expenses, have that down, and figure out what size account do you need. If you were to average like 5 to 6% a month, how big would your account need to be to support the lifestyle that you have or the lifestyle that you want? Okay, so have the proper size account. And yep, that's about it really. Those are, I mean, there's not a lot of steps to it. It's just have savings, have the proper savings so you're not trading from a place of neediness. Okay, you want to be able to trade without pressure. You want to have a track record of consistent profitability. You want to know how you're going to handle those times of drawdowns, those times of losing streaks, because they're coming, they're going to happen. So don't just quit your job because you have one little winning streak. You think you're hot shit, you think you're Warren Buffett, and you decide to quit your job just because you had one little winning streak. Give it a couple years of consistency before you make that leap to see how you're going to handle the slow times, because those are the times that matters. Those are the times that your skills are really tested. Because in a hot market, any idiot can make money. Anybody can make money, okay? But in the slow market, that's where you really see who has the proper skills, who really knows what they're doing. So give it a couple years, consistent profitability, show that you can hold your own. And yeah, proper size account. You need your account to be big enough. Again, I gave you a recommendation for most people in the USA living a humble lifestyle. I think that's a good number. But again, kind of do the math based on your living expenses wherever you are, whatever country you're in, and figure it out. About 5 to 6% a month, I think, is really realistic and a really good return. So yeah, hopefully you found. And again, I'll leave a link to the blog post I made as well, because I'm trying to do both. I'm trying to do the videos, I'm trying to do the blogs, because I know some people prefer one, others prefer another, and so I'm trying to kind of cover both of them here. So make sure you check out the blog post that I made on how to trade for a living. That will be in the video description. And if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Didn't find it useful, then at least leave a dislike. Help that engagement. Alrighty, well, I will catch y'all later.